I'm Doug Brown. After postponing fall sports more than a month ago, Big Ten presidents and chancellors have now unanimously voted to play football starting the weekend of October 24th. Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren.
Our chancellors and presidents, they have been laser focused from day one to making sure that we create an environment to allow our student athletes to participate in the most safe and healthy manner.
Each team will try to play 8 games plus an extra game on December 19th, which is the day of the league championship game. Bears wideout Allen Robinson says he expects to finish the season in Chicago, but he wouldn't say today if he has asked to be traded. Buccaneers wideout Chris Godwin now in the concussion protocol. He's been experiencing delayed symptoms after a hit to the head from the Saints' DJ Swearinger on Sunday. Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James are unanimously named All-NBA First Team. For James, it's a record 16th time on the team. They're joined by James Harden, Anthony Davis, and Luka Doncic.
Check the clock. It's dinner time, baby. Go for Church's new Go Box tonight. Your choice of chicken, sides, and biscuits to feed 6 or more, starting at $20. What you waiting for? Church's, bringing that down-home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
Mr. Toby Tom, play. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah. Hump day. So I understand Dan Wolkin called me an unhinged radio host.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Get ready, Danny boy! It's coming right up your donkey!
It's hump day.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Have you seen the Big Ten's gonna play football this fall?
Hump day.
There's a lot of snooty elitists who are about to do some groveling.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Get ready! Get down on them knees, brother. You got some begging for forgiveness to do.
It's hump day.
We are going to call out every one of you losers.
Hump day.
We are going to point and laugh.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's coming.
It's hump day.
It's coming. Robert Munson, 1 hour from right now.
Hump day.
He'll give some info as it pertains to LSU getting ready to play a week from Saturday. He'll add some credibility to the show.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We'll talk to Lewis Coleman.
It's hump day.
We'll talk to Russ Mitchell.
Hump day.
Boy, we just got a lot to do. All right. Thank you, Brent. So, you've probably heard that the Big Ten is going to play football this fall. How about that? Let me just remind you kind of how all this played out. So, if you go back, go way back into July, the conference commissioners had a conference call scheduled for a Friday. And the day before, on July the 9th, the Big Ten preemptively decided they were going to go conference only. That really ruffled a lot of feathers, shaked a lot of trees. They were going to be the trailblazer, and everyone was just going to follow suit. And then a month later, the Big Ten announced that we're canceling their fall football season. And they just expected everyone else was going to fall in line. Except that didn't happen. The majority of college football continued to proceed. And the closer it got to kickoff and ultimately kickoff, everyone involved in the Big Ten, from players like Justin Fields, players' parents like Randy Wade, parent groups at Iowa, Nebraska, schools all over the Big Ten. They formed a protest at the Big Ten office. The President of the United States got involved. Lawmakers all over the country, really. You had Ryan Day last week issue a statement looking at the Big Ten going, hey, where's our leadership? Why is everybody else playing and we're not? How come Central Arkansas can put together a schedule, but The Ohio State can't? Stunning. The pressure mounted, and these cowards caved, because that's what they are. They're cowards. And they did the right thing, by the way, today. It just, they were forced to do so because that's what cowards do. They don't lead. They react. So, the Big Ten's going to play an 8-game schedule. They are going to play eight consecutive weeks, culminating December the 19th. They'll start October 27th, finish December 19th with the Big Ten championship game, and that does put them in line to participate in the college football playoff. First, I am very sincerely happy for these young men that get to play their season. Let me say this first and foremost. Very happy for them. It's not their fault that their league, from university presidents, conference commissioners on down, completely lacked any semblance of unity, uniformity, a unified message and leadership, which ultimately cost them a season. It's not their fault. I'm happy that these young guys who work so hard for the opportunity to play a college sport in which you have a very finite amount of time to do that, I'm very happy they're going to get to play. So let me say that first. I'm happy that these guys that play at Big Ten schools are going to get their season. All right, I'm going to put that in a box, put the lid on the box, put a bow around it. I'm going to put that up on the shelf. Okay. My objective today, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know this to be true. My objective today is to not let any of these snooty Big Ten elitists in the national media or at these universities who fancy themselves as the gatekeepers of higher learning and academia and all that is good and just in the world, where our apartments smell of rich mahogany and we have many leather-bound books and we wear blazers and circular-rimmed glasses and congratulate each other on how smart we are and how much money we raised. I'm not letting any of you off the hook today. And you may look at me and you say, Matt, that's really petty. That is a petty thing. We should all just join hands, move forward with the season, be glad we have it. And that probably is the more mature thing to do, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to point and laugh at every one of you mother duckers today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to point out your hypocrisy. I'm going to expose you for your flawed arguments and how wrong you have been from jump on this. In particular, the reason I'm going to do that is because in objecting, in contrast to what the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, and much of the Southeast elected to do, you didn't point at medical evidence. You pointed at geography. And for that, I'm going to grab my crotch and flip you the bird right in your face today. And that may not be mature and that may not be the PC thing to do, but damn it, that's what I'm doing on my platform. You want to know why? Because every one of you used your platforms to do the same to me and everyone else who lives down here based on nothing else but geography. Who's the stereotyper? Who's typecasting people? Who's the real bigot? It's you. It's you, Michael Wilbon. Remember this, Michael Wilbon?
You know what I hope somebody on that call said to Nebraska's representatives, even as president? Get the hell out.
Hey, Michael Wilbon, I got news for you, clown. But for Nebraska having the gonads to step up and say, hey, what are we doing? The rest of the world is moving forward and we're going to pull the plug on Big Ten football. But for Nebraska, willing to lead in that direction? Maybe there is no parent group. Maybe there is no Justin Fields petition. Maybe there is no groundswell of support. It took Nebraska to shine a light on how dysfunctional you are. It ain't just you, Michael Wilbon, Northwestern guy. It's Desmond Howard, another Big Ten guy.
If I'm Kevin Warren right now, I'm working on the way to get their ass out of the Big Ten.
Oh, really, Desmond? You want to get Nebraska's ass out the Big Ten? Because guess what, Desmond? Without Nebraska's ass in the Big Ten ain't playing football right now. You'd be sitting up there on game day bemoaning how the beautiful winged helmet, we don't get to see that on Saturdays. Elitist, bro. I ain't done. How about Max Kellerman? Where did he go? Columbia, another Northeast guy. Remember when Max Kellerman said this?
They seem to be very low quality, susceptible to very low quality information and easy to propagandize.
Oh, really? People in the Southeast are susceptible. That man went on Get Up or First Take on the mothership and said an entire region of people are susceptible to low-quality information and easy to propagandize. Guess what, Max Kellerman? A month later, all the people that you were applauding, patting on the back, they're all lined up behind us now, Jack Leg. Who's it? Are Big Ten presidents easy to propagandize? Huh? Take that Columbia degree and use it for toilet paper, friend. You think I'm done? How about Darren Rovell? I know everyone likes to call him Karen Rovell, and that might be appropriate. This is the one that set me off back on August the 11th, the day all this went down. Darren Rovell tweeted, recap of where we are for college football. MAC. Medical people said it's unequivocal. We could not play this fall. Pac-12. Doctors say stop contact and competitive activities at this time. SEC. Doctors say conference continue to go forward at this point. And then he quote tweeted that and said, from the You Can't Make It Up file, the official hotel sponsor of the SEC is Holiday Inn Express. Do you not have this? So basically, Darren Rovell used his Twitter platform, a man who's worked at ESPN's now at the Action Network, has 2 million followers. He basically pointed the finger at the medical task force in the SEC and the ACC primarily. Dr. Katie O'Neill, who's been on this show, brilliant woman, but because she's from Mamu and got her med degree at LSU, somehow she's inferior to the doctors in the MAC or the Pac-12. You want to talk about how pretentious, how elitist, how disgusting that is? I called his ass out on Twitter Day. And you know what he did? He replied with some BS nonsense about, well, it's all timing and this is changing and now we have testing. You know what, Darren? If you had just fallen in line with what the SEC and the ACC were doing, that's what they've said all along. Greg Sankey has never said we're having a season. He says we're preparing to have a season as you move along. There was no reason to preemptively pull the plug. There was none, as evidenced by the fact that we're playing football right now. The head of the ACC's medical task force is a Duke-educated physician, and Darren Rovell took a dump on that guy because he's below the Mason-Dixon line. I'm sweating again, and I ain't even done. How about maybe the most egregious of the day? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may present Christine Brennan from USA Today. Oh, she's way out there. She has a column today bemoaning the Big Ten's decision to play football, and she wrote, note the date, 9/16/20, the day the vaunted Big Ten became the SEC. It choked, it got scared, it sold its soul for football. My column on the darkest day in Big Ten history. Y'all, let me tell you something. Christine Brennan has the audacity, and yeah, I'm yelling, because I want Christine Brennan to hear me all the way from Baton Rouge, Christine. You have the audacity to use a national platform to say a conference's decision to play football in a climate where the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, UFC, PGA, tennis, Korean baseball, MLS, youth leagues at traction and high school sports all around the country are all playing, and you have the audacity to think that the Big Ten deciding to play football is somehow going to end the world. And this is the, as she put it, darkest day in Big Ten's history. Let me remind you of something, Christine Brennan. Jerry Sandusky was raping little boys. The football staff and administration at Penn State knew about it, covered it up. They're in federal prison now because of it. And you're going to sit here and say the Big Ten's decision to play football is somehow darker than Jerry Sandusky raping children? Do I need to remind you, Christine Brennan, about Larry Nassar? This criminal is sexually molesting gymnasts at Michigan State? And somehow this is a darker day than that? What in the hell is wrong with you? Where is your moral compass? Where's your sensibilities? How in the world have we gotten to this point where there's an editor, probably editors at USA Today, who actually pay that woman to write that? Can you imagine today, if you're a family member of one of Larry Nassar or Jerry Sandusky's victims, and you have to read that from Christine Brennan at USA Today, you wonder why the mainstream medium is hemorrhaging? You wonder why readership's at an all-time low, viewership of the networks keeps plummeting? You want to know why? Because of crap like this, man. That's insane. That is plumb insanity. Plumb insanity. And rational thinking people keep looking at it and saying, you know what, Christine? I'm out, bro. I got options now. I don't have to be force-fed your drivel. So guess what happened today? Guess what happened today? The Hicks won. Can you believe it? Bobby Boucher and Forrest Gump somehow outsmarted the rest of the world. The gatekeepers at all these prestigious universities that have endowments in the tens of billions of dollars, who just have congratulatory parties for being the world's richest people. And somehow the Hicks down south got it right. And all of them today are crawfishing. All of them are throwing out those red herrings. Well, there's no proof it's actually going to work. All of them are trying to distract. They're sitting here, snapping over here to distract from right here where all the chaos is, where they're crawfishing and they can't even believe what's happened today. They went so hard on their stance, congratulating the Big Ten on the right thing to do. And a month later, a month after all of that hullabaloo, here they are, tail between their legs, trying to laud some rapid testing or some bullish like that's actually the reason. The reason is every single right-thinking person in our country pointed their finger at you and said, what in the hell are you doing? Even internally. I'm watching South Alabama play football, but Michigan can't? Yeah. Go ahead and laugh. Think of every movie, every TV show you've ever watched set in the South. Be it Waterboy, Forrest Gump, Pelican Briefs. How many times? Every movie you ever see shot in New Orleans as a jazz band walking down the middle of the street, like, because that happens all the time, right? Everybody's got the Southern drawl, right? Because it's 1836 around here all the time. They believe that's our reality. And you know what? It's okay. The world knows. We're the head of the class in this one, and get ready. Tee it up and kick it off, because come January, we're going to kick your ass there too. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Premier South Roofing. PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, and online at PremierSouthLA.com. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Super Service Award from Angie's List. Torch Award for Ethics in Business. That's Premier South Roofing. If you need a roofing company for roof repairs, roof replacements, gutters, awnings, whatever kind of roof, if it's shingles, tile, slate, metal, they do it all. And at Premier South Roofing, they fabricate their own metals, so they can offer you the longest labor warranty in the industry because they know how it's made. And they can also customize any job for you. Instead of shopping out of a catalog, let them make it for you. It's Premier South Roofing. You'll never have a better experience with a contractor. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Super Service Award from Angie's List. Torch Award for Ethics in Business from the Better Business Bureau. That's Premier South Roofing. PremierSouthLA.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. And I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy,
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
If you're looking for a way to help the victims of Hurricane Laura, consider donating to Trey Quinn's fundraiser on behalf of the United Way of Southwest Louisiana. 100% of donations will go towards Hurricane Laura immediate response and long-term recovery efforts. Any donation, no matter how small, will help make an impact. Find the link on our Twitter and our Facebook pages as well.
I warned everybody on the third floor when I walked up here today. They're like, oh, I know it's hump day. You're going to be like, I said, no, it ain't like that. It's going to be a different level today. There was a lot of pent-up frustration let out there. If you want to call me today, you can call me. But fair warning, if you call me today, people always say, oh, Matt, you're so rude to callers. Maybe that's true, but it's not intentionally. It's because I consider my audience. I mean, statistically, 98% of your audience will never call. I'll never cater a show to the 2% that want to call. I just never will. I'll always consider the audience more. So if someone calls, they need to get to the point or something like that, I'm going to hang up on you and move along. It's just because I'm considering the 98%. Most people don't listen to a show to hear callers. But you can call today if you want. But if you want to disagree with me, just be prepared, because I'm in a mood. If you heard the open of the show, you're going to leave humiliated. I don't care who you are. You're going to leave here humiliated or angry, or upset, or mad, whatever. But you can call me. But if you want to disagree, just fair warning, it's not going to go well for you. If you want something to the contrary of what I'm saying, what I would suggest you do is go find affirmation instead of information. Go find a show that agrees with you, where, you know, they want everybody just to stay inside forever and never leave because the COVID is out there and it might get you. Like, go find that show, because that show isn't here. Go find something that's going to make you smile and happy and not upset if that's what you want. If you want a real conversation with someone who's going to be unafraid of telling you exactly what he thinks, well, you got that every day here, but in particular today on this topic. I guess maybe I should look at my Twitter. Maybe I will later. Whatever. Taylor Calandro later this hour. We'll do Bourbon Dictionary. Robert Munson in 30 minutes. I want to bring Robert back on. Hopefully we can do this regularly with Robert, who's LSU Senior Associate AD. And I want Robert to come on because it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get questions answered from a Senior Associate AD inside of LSU Athletics. So obviously a week ago, LSU announced its capacity plan. And now as we move closer to kickoff a week from Saturday, there's a lot of people who have had questions. Like, some people have asked, hey, Matt, I know LSU we can't tailgate on campus. What about, like, off campus? Like, could we tailgate on Nicholson? Like, all that sort of stuff. That's why Robert's coming on, to answer a lot of those questions that you have. People have questions about tickets and distribution also. If you have those, get them in. This will be your opportunity to get your question asked at Senior Associate AD at LSU. So we appreciate Robert Munson for coming on in about 30 minutes from right now. I got to move. God, I went so long. I went 20 minutes on that opening segment. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I'm actually really happy I did that. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm going to talk about Mike Thomas in a minute. Well, maybe I'll get to it eventually. Chad in Baton Rouge. Hi, Chad.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm great.
That opening segment was epic, man. I had it on full volume just listening. I especially like what you said about South Alabama is playing ball, but the Big Ten can't, you know.
Hey, man.
So
crank it up so loud your neighbor's here. And or find it on YouTube and go find the friend that you have who's arguing the contrary.
Yeah.
Strap them down to a chair and make them hear that.
Yeah, like you said, they came back like a dog with their tail underneath, and it's we all knew that they were going to come back. I mean, it was just a matter of time.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I thank you, Chad. I didn't think I certainly never thought a spring season was realistic, but I certainly thought they could have gone to fall of 2021. You know what would have been so much more acceptable? If Kevin Warren today, instead of throwing that red herring out there about, well, we know there's been advances in testing and like, no. All of this was readily available as you were progressing, and your coaches tried to tell you the protocols they were implementing were going well. And let's not forget also that the cornerstone of the Big Ten's argument initially was myocarditis. Remember? That's what they were touting was go back and look. Go back and look at any of the reports from August the 11th when the Big Ten pulled out. The buzzword, myocarditis. Y'all, I'm unabashed today. Like, I'm going to be straight up with you. I have a kid who has congenital heart disease, okay? I know a poop load about heart disease. Okay, I just do. Not that I was ever a good student or ever cared or knew anything about it, but when you have those circumstances in life, it forces you to learn something. Like, if you have a relative who's had breast cancer, you're going to learn a lot more about that because that's your life situation. You all understand what I'm saying. The idea that myocarditis was attached onto this as some be-all, end-all is so laughable because you can contract myocarditis, which is basically cures itself within months anyway. You can contract that from any respiratory virus, from the flu, from the common cold, from mononucleosis, like any respiratory virus, you could contract myocarditis. Nobody's ever mentioned it, but that was the crux of their argument. 1 month ago, and you didn't hear a single damn word about that. That's not been rectified to the best of my knowledge. I'd have had so much more respect for Kevin Warren today if he had stepped up and said, you know what? We were preemptive in our decision. We thought we were doing what was best. As we had time to withdraw, we realized how many people were passionate about playing the season this fall, and that if we really wanted to progress, we could put the protocols in place to do it. It shouldn't have come to this. We apologize for that, but we're confident we can move forward. That would have been such a more acceptable argument today instead of, well, there's all these advances. Get out of here, bro. You look like a clown every time you open your mouth. Jerry's in Ponchatoula. Hi, Jerry.
Matt, not loud enough, man. I want to tell you that. And first off, I want to congratulate the Big Ten for, finding a cure for what you just talked about, because evidently that's what they did.
Myocarditis, it's gone. Completely gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, I'm surprised Christine Brennan didn't congratulate him on that.
Yeah.
And the only regret I have is you're not on Sirius Radio to really say what you feel. Because, and I can't wait for tonight. I can't wait for tonight.
Oh, you're talking about when I do my my Facebook
show?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be drinking and listening, and I'll be chiming in, buddy.
I try to tone it down a bit there, but who knows?
I think your mom and dad will be proud of you. You did good.
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it, man. Jerry's referring. I do every Wednesday on Whiskey Wednesday. I do a Facebook Live called Nightcap with Scone. So if you go to my Facebook page, at Matt Moscona AFR, if you like the page, you get notified when I go live. Every Wednesday around like 9 o'clock, I sip a whiskey and we just talk sports and all whatever. So that's what Jerry was referring to there. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Pluckers. Had lunch today at Pluckers, actually, with Stevie Levy, the king of the wing over there at Pluckers. Awesome spot. Had myself a salad. Got to get right, y'all. Too many quarantine pounds. Need to start to shed those. All right, let me knock out a break, y'all. I need to catch back up here. We'll go around the SEC. We got Taylor Calandro coming up for Bourbon Dictionary. Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD in 28 minutes. Stay with us.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Carriages in Bocage. CarriagesBR.com. CarriagesBR.com. Go to the website, tap the Game Day tab right there at the top, y'all. We are less than 2 weeks away. You kidding me? We're 10 days away from LSU Mississippi State. And maybe you'll be in the stadium. Maybe not. If not, okay. Understandable. But you're going to be at a game watch. You're going to be at a sports bar, maybe at Pluckers. Don't wear the same shirt that everybody else has on. Get on by Pluckers. You can go to Pluckers. But get on by Carriages. Shop their officially licensed Game Day line. They've got the national championship logo. They've got those throwback logos, the Sailor Mike logo, the alternate logo, the coach's logo from the 1970s as well. On great gear, Peter Millar performance gear. They've also got shorts and belts and socks and boxers and everything else you can imagine that's purple and gold at Carriages in Bocage. You want a classier Game Day line? Go shop our friends at Carriages in Bocage or online at carriagesbr.com. Tell them Matt sent you into Carriages in Bocage.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, like so friendly, very quick to just come up, like let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Disappointing news for the Saints. Looks like Mike Thomas, who's week to week now, is likely to miss the Monday Night Football game against the Raiders. We'll delve deeper into this a bit later in the show, about an hour from right now, when we have time to shoehorn it in. But looks like when the Saints go to Las Vegas, they're going to be without arguably their best offensive player, certainly the best wide receiver in the NFL. How does that impact New Orleans? We'll talk about that a bit later in the show. But the news is Mike Thomas, week to week with that ankle injury. He himself is not convinced, according to reports, that he's going to miss time, but it certainly seems like that's going to be the case, including with the Saints contemplating putting him on IR, which would put him on the shelf for at least 3 weeks. So we'll talk about that coming up a bit later in the show. Our friend Chuck Oliver, every day you hear the Chuck Oliver Show on ESPN Radio here in Baton Rouge, following Game Time with Jimmy Ott. Today, Chuck, and that show airs live earlier in the day. We air taped late in the evenings. But Chuck had SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey on today, and the commissioner did talk with Chuck about the Big Ten's decision to resume their season.
Well, I've been busy working on SEC issues over the last months, weeks, days, and hours this morning. So I have seen they've made an announcement of a plan to actually play football this fall, which is different from that August 11th moment. I look forward to understanding a bit more, but good for the student athletes in the Big Ten. I've seen parental activity seeking the opportunity, so I wish them well in their endeavor.
And Sankey did also say that at this point, he's very optimistic about a season happening in full.
Relative to 2 weeks before, I'm more confident, but we need the behavior of individuals involved, and that's our society, our communities, our coaches, our players, our administrators, to be consistent with supporting healthy competition. And we've seen that. We've had blips along the way, but over the next 10 days, people have to be healthy and stay healthy and be fully attentive to every piece of information that's been communicated about how to avoid encountering a positive COVID test.
Feels better today than 2 weeks ago. That continues to progress. If you want to hear that full interview with Greg Sankey, you can hear it tonight on the Chuck Oliver Show on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge, or you go to Southern Sports Today, which hosts the Chuck Oliver Show, Southern Sports Today. You can catch that full interview from today. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives since 1999. That's our friends at GMFS Mortgage. If you are a homeowner and you know your interest rate is above a 4, my goodness, please don't wait. It's not going to last forever. These historically low rates are historically low for a reason. They're going to go back up. So take advantage of this now. Lock in a lower interest rate, refinance your mortgage, pay less each month on your mortgage? My goodness, why wouldn't you do that? It's like giving yourself a raise when you get to keep more of your money. It's GMFS Mortgage. Just remember those 4 letters, GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia still has not decided on a new starting quarterback, that according to Kirby Smart, who said he likely will not announce a starter before the season opener. JT Daniels, the Southern Cal transfer, who's yet to be fully cleared medically, and redshirt freshman DeJuan Mathis are the 2 leaders for the job. Bulldogs open up Saturday, September the 26th at Arkansas. You might remember Jamie Newman opted out 2 weeks ago.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Kentucky's still waiting on the fate of Joey Gatewood, if he's going to be eligible. Mark Stoops said they anticipate getting word from the NCAA this week, less than 2 weeks from Kentucky's season opener against Gatewood's former team, Auburn. Gatewood is running number 2 behind starter Terry Wilson. You might remember Gatewood was the number 1 athlete, a top 50 overall prospect as a member of the 2018 class. He redshirted in 2018, but then last year he lost the starting job at Auburn to Bo Nix and then transferred.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vanderbilt safety Tay Daly has entered the NCAA's transfer portal. This is a big one. Daly's a senior who was the Commodores' 3rd leading tackler a year ago. He started 9 games and was expected to be an every down starter again this year. He started 17 career games and played in 33 in his time in Nashville. When he signed with Vanderbilt, he did so over offers from Wisconsin, South Carolina, and Purdue. So major safety prospect, a starter, a senior at Vanderbilt, transferring. That means, of course, that weak secondary already just got weaker when LSU plays them week 2.
The Florida Gators.
And Florida's putting the final touches on fall camp before they move into game mode late this week. And Dan Mullen said on Thursday they'll go through a mock game simulating everything in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Players won't be competing. They won't even be in pads, but they'll walk through every scenario, including all of the new COVID-19 protocols, which are now in place. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. If you're a business owner and you need to run more efficiently, if you don't have a great relationship right now with your office equipment provider, if your office equipment breaks and then they don't get to you for days, that'll never happen with Gulf Coast Office Products. They'll get to you same day, worst case scenario, by 10 a.m. the next day. That's Gulf Coast Office Products. Online, gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com. for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, after further review, Taylor Colangelo, a little Bourbon Dictionary. We'll do that next. A lot of you guys hanging on hold. I'd love to get to you, man. Just if you can be patient, we'll get to it eventually. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place at agent225.com. Remember this. Darren James sells more homes than any other realtor, and working with Darren obligates you to nothing. If at any point you're not thrilled with the service, Darren will let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. Remember, Darren also has a love it or leave it program. If you think about this, you buy a home from Darren. If within a year you have to move for whatever reason, even if you get transferred for work, Darren will sell your home for free for his half of the commission. There's so many benefits to working with Darren James. Call the realtor who sells more homes than anyone. Have a great customer service experience selling your home. Call Darren James, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. Call Darren James and get your home sold, commercial or residential. Think real estate, think Darren James.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on them.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we'll get to Taylor Colangelo for Bourbon Dictionary here in just a quick second. I wanted to get to a couple of guys who had waited. Jack, thanks for your patience. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Matt, I'm a longtime listener, never caller, and I really enjoyed your passion about the way this virus is being treated around the country. And I'm a 70-year-old veteran.
Thank you for your service, Jack.
Oh, my pleasure. When I was your age, I didn't do politics either, and I've heard you say that many times on your show. Sadly, I got drawn into politics because, unfortunately, it has influenced all of our life. I used to go to sports to get away from politics, and now it's on the field, front and center. And the way this virus has been managed across the country, you can look and see what areas did what, and it's very obvious that there was an agenda. Where they reopen schools, where they reopen businesses.
Jack, look, man, I hate to cut you off, man. That's just a direction I don't want to take the conversation. Because, but listen, and I want to explain why out of respect for you, because I number one, appreciate you listening. I certainly appreciate your service. But in calling and taking this into a political direction and talking about schools and agendas and all, you're doing exactly the thing that you don't enjoy whenever you watch a sporting event. When you turn on a sporting event and then you see politics. Well, if people listen to this show, they're expecting to hear me talk about sports. And if someone just tuned in and they heard that, then they basically had the same experience that you did, which is why I try to avoid. I certainly avoided on my show, Jack, but just generally speaking in life, there was a time in my life where I was I was in news radio. I was very in tune to it. And I was so put off by it that I disengaged completely. Jack, there may be a point in my life where I come back around somewhere to the middle, but right now I'm completely agnostic. I'm so content to be a husband, a father, a hard worker, and to make my life for me and my family, and not worry at all about what someone at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or the governor's mansion does. I just don't care.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's sad. I agree with you. I'm put off by it also.
Yeah. Jack, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for your time. Scott in Pineville. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Matt. Here we are on a Wednesday, and I don't know who's got me more jacked up, ready to run through a brick wall. You putting these idiots in their place, or Coach O talking about how strong the defense is.
It better be Coach O, man.
Because I totally agree with you. And yesterday's show, hearing about Coach O, that's got me pumped about this up and coming season.
Yeah, man. I'm really interested. Thank you for the call, Scott. I appreciate the kind words there in Pineville. I'm very curious to see if O talking about the defense holds. I mean, he said yesterday defense right now is better than they were at any point a year ago. It remains to be seen, but we'll see. Craig in Baton Rouge, then we'll get to Taylor Calandro. What's up, Craig?
Hey, Matt, I'm a senior at Catholic High, and every day after school, I'll turn on your show just to hear that talk, and today was probably the best I've heard all day, so I just want to thank you, and I look forward to your talk every day.
Love it, man. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate your brevity, too. Do well in school, man. I appreciate you. All right, let's talk some brown water.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Just sweating and yelling and doing things that I do a lot on air.
That was weird. We didn't come back from a commercial there.
Did you? Well, you go back and listen to the open of the show. You'll get it. We got about 5 minutes here, so let's blow and go. Hey, I got a message from Andrew. He said, "Hey, Matt, I was gifted a Weller Antique 107 and a Weller 12." He said, "Have you ever tried it, and is it decent?" Give me your spiel on the Wellers.
The Weller 12 is
my favorite.
Amazing.
It's my favorite.
It's amazing. It's literally Van Winkle 12, but aged a little differently. It's literally the only difference. It's unbelievably good. And the 107 is great too. But I mean, as far if they're going head to head with each other, the 12 wins by a landslide. I
agree with you, man. Weller 12 is my jam. Hey, you and I were talking earlier, and this is something we've never addressed here, but I was reminded of it because last Friday I went down to the Sazerac house and did the whole tour. And while they will barrel whiskey at the Sazerac house, they ship it to Kentucky to age in the rick houses there. 95% of the world's bourbon comes from Kentucky. Why?
The water, it runs through the limestone. They have a lot of limestone there, and the limestone cleans out the different elements that make it taste make water taste weird. So it's a good filtration, and because some water tastes weird. But anyway, so the water runs through limestone. There's limestone everywhere, and the water is also hard, which it's all distillation is a science. That's all it is, and it has to do with the pH levels and the minerals, and some minerals are better than others when it comes to whiskey.
You know what's so interesting? At Saz House, they literally have a lab. Where like a scientist, like a biochemist, is sitting in the lab analyzing the water and everything. I was like, "Is that a science?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, that's legit. What that is."
And I mean, like I've been to distilleries in Kentucky, and I've been like Maker's Mark. I've been in their lab. They literally analyze almost every single grain of corn that comes through there. They've got machines that go through the corn. If there's a bad piece of corn in a truckload, they will toss the whole load.
Hey, we got 2 minutes. Taylor Calandro is with us, Bourbon Dictionary. Got a ton of questions that we called for before the show today. Let's blow and go and get through some of these rapid fire. John Lewis said, Taylor, reputation aside, Blanton's versus Blade and Bow, sip for sip. What do you think?
Blade and Bow.
Interesting. All right, Bob Jones, have you ever taken the Kentucky Bourbon Trail?
Have I?
Yeah. Well,
I haven't done the full trail, but I've done most of it.
Travis Bryant, any craft bourbons worth a try?
Ooh, Few Spirits. They've got some good stuff out there.
Okay. Y'all sell it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have the rye right now.
Okay. Joel Cunningham, favorite Buffalo Trace offering under $100.
Pretty much everything's under $100.
They're all under $100. Yeah.
Well,
Finding them is the tough part. Kurt Taylor, Jefferson's Ocean. How does that compare to regular Jefferson's?
Oh, I love Jefferson's Ocean. I just think there's more depth to the flavor than like, say, regular Jefferson's.
Why? Dustin Bonanno said, why are some bourbons labeled bourbon whiskey? Seems redundant. Is there a difference?
I don't believe, no. I just think that's how they label it.
They'll label it bourbon whiskey, but then you'll see some that's like a straight bourbon, or obviously you'll have blends and different things like that, how it's labeled. But if it's bourbon whiskey, it's straight bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some nuance to it, but as far as I know, there's not like a broad understanding of it.
We got 30 seconds. Are all bourbon aged in charred wooden barrels? From Tommy Daigle.
Yes, new oak wood charred barrels, yes.
All right, last thing, looking for new bourbon to try in the $40 to $50 range. What do you think?
Blade and Bow.
There you go. All right, Taylor Calandro. Go see him at either Calandro's in Baton Rouge. He's actually at the Perkins Road store, wine and spirits manager over there. Appreciate you, man. Have a good week.
Thanks, Matt.
All right,
You
man.
too.
We'll see you. It's After Further Review. LSU Senior Associate AD Robert Munson joins us right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. I'll continue to remind you, as people continue to recover post-Hurricane Laura, Relief Windows is here to help. Their main office, obviously, is right here in Baton Rouge off of Segan Lane on Pennywood, off of Cloverland. But they also service all of the Gulf Coast. Their second largest market is Beaumont, Texas. So if you're in the Lake Charles area, Lake Charles-Beaumont area, or you know someone who is impacted by Laura, as you start the recovery process, think Relief Windows. If you need windows, if you need doors, if you need siding, they do it all. And remember, you'll never pay $1 until the work is done to your satisfaction. So you never have to worry about a contractor taking your deposit and running with it. They're ethical. They're awesome. They do beautiful work. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up! Roof's up!
Roof's up!
Roof's up?
Roof's up!
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Callahan Injury Lawyer.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Big Ten now plans to kick off the football season on the weekend of October 24th. That decision by unanimous vote of school presidents and chancellors. ESPN's Heather Dinich.
Yes, it was a public relations nightmare, but when you see the substantial medical information that they had to consider, this is the biggest difference from when they voted to postpone.
Heather Dinich on KJ&Z. The teams will play 8 games each, plus a 9th game on the day of the league championship game, December 19th. Ohio State corner Shaun Wade tells ESPN's Outside the Lines he hasn't decided if he'll try to come back to play for the Buckeyes. Wade announced earlier that he'd skip his senior season to prepare for the draft. On this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame ballot, there are 14 first-time candidates, including Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, and Steven Jackson. The NBA makes it official today. The draft will be on November 18th. It was moved back from October to allow time for owners and players to negotiate amendments to the collective bargaining agreement.
Brought to you by Cooper Tires. Go with great tires that do what tires should do and cost what tires should cost. Go with the Coopers.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll talk to former LSU pitcher Lewis Coleman in about 15 minutes from right now. Russ Mitchell next hour. Right now, though, LSU Senior Associate AD Robert Munson, good enough to join us as he did a week ago, and has committed to doing this to make sure we keep lines of communication open from LSU to our audience as we move through really an unprecedented time. Hey, Robert, thanks for a couple of minutes again, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm sitting here staring at Tiger Stadium out my window, and I just can't wait to get back in there a week from Saturday.
What does it look like for those that don't pass campus often? What does it look like? 10 days from the opener relative to what it normally looks like on campus 10 days before the opener?
Yeah, you'd be amazed at how much work is going on up until the last minute. So, it's everything from construction projects finishing up to cleaning to bringing in all the supplies that are needed for game day. I mean, the days and weeks leading up to that first game, it is controlled chaos for sure, but it all gets done. And we've had a little extra time, right, this year to do some things, including really a top-to-bottom cleaning of Tiger Stadium. I don't think this stadium has been this clean ever, frankly.
That's probably a really good thing, considering some of the things that typically happen, and certainly in the student section when a young Matty Moscona was a senior. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, this stadium has been pressure washed every inch of it, top down throughout the summer. It's beautifully clean. I think our fans are going to really, really appreciate the way it looks right now.
Let's get into some of the particulars. Of course, yesterday, Ed Ogeron made a lot of national headlines because of his comments that much of the team had contracted COVID. Is there anything to add from that standpoint, Robert? I mean, you probably know that, maybe you don't know what I've said about the matter, but I don't know that there is much to add. Do you have anything from the university standpoint?
Yeah, I heard you had a little something to say about it. I haven't watched it yet. But I was told you got a little. I was told you got a little fired up.
Well, you should have seen today's show open too. If you got 20 minutes and you want to hear an Italian fat bald guy scream and sweat, you could put your earbuds in because there's going to be people around you who aren't going to like it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to pass 20 minutes. It's funny, Matt. I've had a number of conversations on the topic today, and getting beyond what was said, and the fact that we don't release numbers. That's just the university protocol that we follow. I think the important parts are to know from a public health standpoint, all our positive tests are reported to the Louisiana Department of Health and to the university. We make sure that our obligations to public health tracking are met and exceeded. And beyond that, we really just lean to the side of privacy for the student athlete. And some schools do it differently. Some schools do it like we do it. I don't know that there's a right way or a wrong way to do it. And that's probably true of a lot revolving around COVID-19. You take the steps you believe are necessary to take, and you evolve a little bit along the way. But that's where we are, and we're very, very confident in what we've done in terms of our protocols and procedures with COVID-19.
I'm so glad you said that about the privacy of a student athlete, because I saw a reporter today on Twitter essentially say that it's a public university and all this should be disclosed. It's people's private medical records. Like, kick rocks. The fact that we even talk. Look, well, I know you can't. Whatever. I'll move on. That's me talking, not you. Opt-out numbers for tickets. When we last spoke, the deadline was still coming for opt-outs. Where are we right now?
Where do you think we are? What's your guess? We have a final number. I'm curious what you think it is.
Are you talking about capacity or season ticket holders? Season ticket accounts?
Season ticket accounts, the percentage of opt-outs.
Okay, I'm going to say the percentage of opt-outs I'll say is 70%.
Wow. 72% is the final number.
Oh, look at you, boy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You were even under.
Look at you, boy. All right, so...
Yeah, 72% of accounts opted out. That obviously, well, maybe it isn't obvious. That does not correlate exactly to 72% of seats.
Right.
One account holder could have 25 seats and another could have 2. So we're working through those numbers right now, and pretty soon the ticket office is going to get in touch with everybody to let them know what their allocation is. Good news is, because 72% opted out, every season ticket holder that remained in is going to get at least 2 tickets.
Okay. So everyone will get at least 2. Not every season ticket holder will get their necessarily will get their full allotment. What about, because I know you got to give 500 opposing fans. You got it. Brian Broussard told us you got to take care of coaches and players' families, and then students. So what about the remaining allocation?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what the number for the remaining allocation is yet. We're really kind of right in the middle of working out that math. I tried to get some numbers out of Brian Broussard before you and I talked, and he nearly took my head off just for taking 5 minutes of his time.
Okay, wait,
busy.
Let me re-ask it, because I don't think I asked it correctly. How many students are going to be in? How many tickets are allocated for families?
So for students, we're going to be in the 2,200 range.
And what's it normally?
It's normally in the 13,000 range. So we're going to be in the 2,200 to 2,400 range for students. We're going to have the band down there as well. They'll also be physically distanced from each other. The rest of the capacity numbers I don't have in front of me at the moment.
That's okay. That is good to know, though, what the student number is, because that does put into perspective as you're ticking toward that 2,500. Do you think, or 25,000, is your best guess that there will be 25,000 tickets issued for the game on Saturday against Mississippi State?
Yeah, that's going to be a rough number. Like you mentioned, there are a number of obligations that have to be met before you get to the allocation. You mentioned the SEC guidelines for 500 for opposing teams. And really, that's by the time you get through families, coaches, that sort of thing, it's not really 500 tickets for opposing fans. It's going to be primarily taken up by the teams themselves. You have some obligation, obviously, with students, some partner obligations, and a few others, and then the rest is allocated. It's a big number, but I don't know exactly what that is right now.
Okay, Robert Munson's our guest for a couple more minutes, LSU Senior Associate AD. Can you update us on the entry procedures going into Tiger Stadium?
Yeah, what's really interesting, and this is the first time I had heard this just about a week ago, even though we've cut capacity by 25%, we're actually going to have a much larger game day staff working game days this year. to facilitate everything we have to facilitate. One of the reasons why is we're going to have roughly a dozen additional gates. I think you and I talked about that last week. And we're going to have some different gate entry procedures. So with that, we want basically our fans to have as short of lines as possible so we can maximize physical distancing. I think I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it, and I apologize for being a broken record. But it's really important that people download our mobile app, the LSU Sports mobile app. You don't have to have it, but it's going to make your life a lot easier if you're coming to games. You can access your tickets via the app or via your wallet. And then secondarily, we're also going to have a CDC screening that fans will be required to fill out before they walk into the stadium. That's going to be on your phone. It's a simple handful of questions that you answer. We all know the questions. Are you experiencing COVID-19 symptoms? Are you experiencing a fever? Have you been exposed? Those types of questions. As soon as you get through, I think it's 5 questions. As soon as you get through those, you'll get a green light to go in, and you'll enter in the stadium. From that point, pretty close to normal.
So that's on. So again, it's the LSU Sports mobile app.
Yeah, the LSU Sports mobile app. We designed an entirely new app roughly a month ago. It's great. Has a lot of new features for our fans. So even without this, I'd be encouraging people to get it. But with the different entry procedures now, it's just going to make everyone's life a little bit easier if you have that mobile app. So download it now, get your tickets on it, get your health screening on it, get your parking permits all in one place.
A couple of more things for you. I've been asked a lot by fans, while we know that there's no tailgating that's going to be allowed on campus, what about nearby campus? Like, for example, the people that park like along Nicholson or Burbank, Nicholson either north or south of campus, or Burbank, the roads on the perimeter of campus, is that going to be permitted?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Matt. And obviously, those roads are out of our footprint necessarily as a campus and out of our control. So I can't say that we would have any enforcement of that. I can say we would strongly discourage it. The whole thing here is to minimize gatherings, to minimize the long periods of time that we're sort of hanging out, drinking, and eating communal food, and doing that particularly around the stadium. Scott's talked about it a lot. Scott Woodward, our AD. There are going to be a lot of eyes on us. There are going to be a lot of eyes on college football, period. And we really want to show that LSU can do it right, whether that's immediately on our campus or to those areas that are directly connected to our campus. It's a personal choice. It's a personal responsibility thing. I'm not going to get into that, but on campus, we're restricting tailgating and want to encourage people to enjoy the game from home if they can't make it into the stadium.
Anything else that people need to know that we haven't touched on?
There's probably a lot else. What do we need to touch on? What else is out there? What are you hearing?
Well, the tailgating one is a big one around campus. People that would like to gather wherever they're able to gather, and I'm going to be very curious to see if that does transpire. If people do go out and tailgate around campus.
Yeah, we are too. We don't know. This is a brand new experiment. No one's done this before. I sure hope we don't get into an enforcement situation. We don't want to do that. We don't want to come anywhere close to doing that. We want to have fun with the ticket holders that are coming to the game, make that as great of an experience as it can be, and really just kind of hit pause on tailgating this year so that we can all get back to it at 110% like we usually do next year.
This may be a question for someone at the SEC Network or maybe Kevin Wagner, but what about the majority of fans that are watching on TV? How different is the TV viewing experience going to be for people at home watching games at Tiger Stadium?
I think it'll be slightly different. If you've watched any of the games, both pro and collegiate level at this point, you've probably noticed a few different things. Different stations are doing different things with crowd noise. That's number one. So some aren't doing anything, some are doing some. You're not getting nearly as many shots from the stands. Almost everything's focused on the field.
Right.
But what we're confident with CBS and ESPN and SEC Network, our partners, is that broadcast is going to be really, really top-notch. Sideline reporters, the same type of stuff we'd be accustomed to with some adjustments. The big one is clearly the crowd noise. It's basically unknown. What does it sound like with 25,000 people in Tiger Stadium? We've seen a couple of games already, football games, where if you watch the Kansas City game, particularly in the first quarter, it sounded pretty loud. I mean, they were making some noise in there. So we'll see what it's like in Tiger Stadium and how that applies from a television standpoint.
Does Gordy Rush get to be on the field?
I'm trying to keep Gordy Rush off the field at all times, but that was true last year, and I was unsuccessful. So I don't know that I'm going to win that war this year either.
Okay, I was just making sure. A couple more from listeners. One, Matt asked, I think we addressed this earlier, but just for clarification, is that will it be just season ticket holders, or will there be general public tickets too?
Right now, it's just season ticket holders. So all of the season ticket holders that have opted in for this season will at least get 2 tickets. Now, here's the thing. All of this is written in sand.
Right.
It could change between now and game 1, but really what we're looking at now is what, if anything, changes between game 1 and game 2. Does capacity change because our situation changes? Can we serve alcohol? Can we allow single game tickets because capacity has been increased? Those are questions we don't have answers to, but we're hopeful that we'll be able to do some of those things. Number one, if we do it right, if we have that game 1 and it goes well and we're all responsible and kind of following the rules and having a good time. And then number 2, obviously, the public health situation has to get better. And if those 2 things happen, who knows, maybe we will be able to do that in the future.
Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD. Appreciate a couple of minutes. If anything else pops up, as always, just let us know.
We'll do it, Matt. Thanks.
All righty. Thank you. It is After Further Review. We're happy to be a vehicle to get information out because a lot of that is very, very important, as you can tell. Things like download their app, download the LSU Sports app. I mean, I can tell if you've gone some places, largely medical facilities, like when I bring Drew to his therapy, when you walk in, there's a screening thing, the CDC screen that what he talked about, where you got to answer the questions. And instead of having someone sit there and dictate 5 questions to you, if you go to the website or the app in this case and answer them and you have the confirmation screen already up, it expedites the process. So go download if you're going to the game, go download the app, the LSU Sports mobile app. Okay, it's After Further Review. Quick break. Former Tiger pitcher Lewis Coleman, he and I chatted and talked about chatting today, far before we knew anything was going on with the Big Ten or any of that stuff, but looking forward to it, man. One of his former teammates, Austin Nola, is actually playing for the Padres right now as we look up on ESPN. Chat for a few minutes with Lewis Coleman, talk a little baseball, and Russ Mitchell in 1 hour from right now. Stick around, AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001. Had a friend call me last week. He said, hey, man, AC's acting up. Who's the company you endorse? River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, they're going to ask you, because they always do, if you're interested in joining their membership club. And I am a member. I think it's $20 or $25 a month. It's so worth it. You get front-of-the-line service when you call. You get discounted rates whenever you do need repair work. And, I mean, this is what pays for it. You get complimentary seasonal maintenance. So what I tell you about all the time about have your AC tuned up in the winter months, make sure your heater safety check is done. That's complimentary service when you're a member of their membership club. So it also makes sure that you stay on track servicing your units every season. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com.
When it's clearance time, smart customers rush to Richards Honda because all your favorite Honda models are at fantastic prices. And with our fanatical customer care, it's no wonder people call Richards Honda the smart choice.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Your Honda needs some TLC, and Richards Honda is the smart place to get it. With oil changes at just $39. And with so many service bays, you'll be in and out super fast. Schedule your appointment.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
You know, when baseball season was rolling before it got canceled, one of our weekly guests was Lewis Coleman, former LSU pitcher, and our intention was to chat with Lewis every week during the baseball season. And, well, baseball season got derailed, but it's resumed, and it had been a while since we chatted with Lewis, so he and I were talking, hey, let's talk on Wednesday. And, of course, the Big Ten goes and makes their decision today. But nonetheless, sort of chat with Lewis because there's a lot going on, including a lot of his former teammates that are playing in the pros, and some interesting news around baseball with the postseason going to a bubble. So we welcome former Tiger pitcher Lewis Coleman onto AFR. How are you, dude?
Doing good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. I'm actually sitting in the studio watching ESPN, and it's the Dodgers against the Padres, and your former teammate Austin Nola catching for the Padres. Give me a thought on Austin and what he's been able to do at this point in his career.
It's pretty hard to put in words because it just shows his perseverance and how hard he works. Because I think he got into pro ball around 2012 and finally made his debut last year in 19, and that's tough. Eight seasons in the minor leagues, and I don't know if I could have made it that long. Just hats off to him, and he's always worked hard, kept his mouth shut. I don't think there is anybody I could be happier for. To finally have made their debut last year and then having a lot of success this year and finally put him in a position where teams are trading for him, and that's pretty awesome.
So that's the other thing that's true, Lewis. It's not just that he got his call up. It's that he's actually bringing value. Like he's a valuable piece now for the Padres. I mean, put that into perspective for me about how a guy, or if you can remember seeing a guy who 8 years into their professional career now is bringing great value at the big league level.
Oh man, it's hard to even think back. Like, I mean, I know there's guys that grind it out and finally get their shot, but I just don't remember one like this, like where he just came up and shined so fast. And I played with Eric Kratz. He was a catcher, and he did some big things. I think it was 2 postseasons ago for the Brewers. He was a catcher, and I feel like he played in the minor leagues for a while, and then finally got called up and played with like 15 teams. I mean, it was something ridiculous. But he was kind of just like a backup. Nola's got his chance, and And he's like, told you guys, just needed a chance, man. And the guy is doing it. And he's doing things that he didn't really do at LA. I mean, he's hitting for some power. I think he's getting close to matching his homers from last year. And just, we always knew that he could pick it, but now he's doing it behind the plate. It just shows that he's coachable and just how hard he works. And it's great that he's a Baton Rouge kid too. And just, I mean, we all knew that Aaron was going to do big things, and we thought that Austin had a chance. But for him to come into Major League Baseball in an entirely different position is remarkable.
You know what else? I'm not sure many people saw this, is obviously the most famous part of that 2009 switch that Paul Maneri made was inserting Austin and moving DJ to second base. Well, now DJ's won a batting title already and is the best hitter on the New York Yankees and one of the, call it, 10 best hitters in baseball. I don't think that's a stretch. He's certainly in that conversation. Did you see this type of Major League production for DJ? Or maybe a better way to ask it, Lewis, is how has he progressed his game from when he was at LSU to being, a third-round pick of the Cubs, now to being a batting champion and one of the best hitters in the league?
You know, ever since I got into pro ball, people thought I was just biased towards LSU, and I am. But I said, I was always like, hey, we got to get LeMahieu. And they're like, you just want him because he was on your 09. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, this guy is good. When he was with the Cubs, I was telling them, get him. And they thought I was just goofing. And I'm like, no, this guy can play. And I think what's made him so successful, DJ doesn't talk very much. He's very quiet. And when he takes that into the baseball field, he's just relaxed all the time. He doesn't get phased. You play in the Bronx, you got to have a good head on your shoulders, and he definitely has that. And just, he's never changed his approach. I think all of his hits this year are to right center to right field, like on the fastball. He's hitting all the fastballs to right field, and he just stays inside. He has a great approach. It's just cool to watch him, and just when he got, he thought demoted to second base in 09. I'm just thankful that it turned out this way, because he was down in the dumps. He thought that he was going to be the shortstop for the Yankees, and just for Coach Maneri to have that vision and say, no, I really think this is where you're going to be, and that's where he's been. And if he wins the batting title, the Silver Slugger in the American League, I think he'll be the first player in modern baseball history to have won a Silver Slugger in both leagues, which is pretty cool.
I'd love to see it. Of course, I'd love to see it because it's the Yankees as well. So it's a double whammy getting to see him there. But Lewis Coleman's our guest for a couple more minutes here. Of course, Lewis Company is Kentucky's best hemp, which we promote for Tigers and the pros. Great CBD products. Tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Hey, I wanted to ask you also, the postseason's going to a bubble, and you were on a world championship team and on a team that a second team that played in the World Series and came up a little short. But how do you think playing in the bubble can or will impact postseason baseball?
I mean, I understand that they're trying to protect. They've made it this far, and now we want to ensure that we finish the postseason. And I'm glad that they're trying to figure out how to incorporate the families if they want to do that. I read where they can come in for 7 days in quarantine with the players, so that way they can watch. And but I think it was going to be really weird. They're all going to be in the same little area, and then they're going to go to the field and compete the next day. Like, I mean, are they going to be hanging out? I don't know. I feel like that would be strange.
What were road games in the World Series like, or in the postseason like for you?
All business. Like in the season, you might have a day game or a 6 o'clock game where you get done just in time to go to dinner with the fan. But I was never on the postseason roster. But that year that we got runner up to the Giants, I was there for every game, so I got to see how those guys went about their business. And there was no like family time dinner. It was go play the game, go home, get your rest, get ready to go for the next game. And you could see a flipped gear like middle of September on, and it's just all business.
So with that with that respect, though, Lewis, I mean, couldn't I argue, though, then that, I mean, obviously a postseason at bat in a road stadium with the crowd going bonkers, there's a different level of amped up pressure and anxiety and all that stuff. But couldn't I argue that it may not be that dissimilar considering what the schedule is actually like for these guys during the postseason?
Yeah, I think I like that. I mean, I like that they're trying to do the neutral side and do the best they can, but I still think it's going to be. I don't care if there's fans in it or not. Those guys know what they're playing for, and no one's going to take for granted that it's a 2-month season and a different playoff format. They're not going to look back and have an asterisk and say, well, we were World Series champs, but, we did it through the COVID jump. No. Like, those guys who know what they're playing for, there's still going to be all the pressure, fans or no fans. At the end of it, they're still going to get that ring and wear it with pride. And I think you can't take that away, that pressure away.
Lewis Coleman, former Tiger pitcher, a College World Series champion, of course, professional career there with the Kansas City Royals as well, and was scheduled to be our weekly guest here on AFR talking some LSU baseball, but season got cut short. Hopefully we get to do that that next baseball season. Hey, Lewis, by the way, of course, we've talked about Kentucky's best hemp. You gave away something like 12,000 bottles of CBD. Like, I would imagine the response has been really good to that promotion.
Yeah, it was awesome. It turned out great, and actually faster than we thought. You guys did an awesome job down there. We got a huge following out of Louisiana, and a lot of people were sending Go Tiger emails to the office up there in Cynthiana, Kentucky, and they were loving it. And one of the ladies in there is Miss Debbie, and she's like, these people are full. I need to reach out to these people and let them really know what we think about you and not what they think. But it was great. It was very cool to be able to get some of those emails in.
So if you got your free bottle of CBD oil from Kentucky's Best Hemp, great. If you didn't, well, you missed out. But another great promotion that they're doing right now, you can use the promo code AFR30, AFR30, and save 30% off your order. So if you want to try the oil or the salve or the cream or the gummies or the honey sticks, so many different ways to take in the CBD, which is all natural. You know what else I get asked a lot, Lewis? People go, hey, if I get drug tested at work, am I gonna fail a drug test? Like, no, you're not gonna fail a drug test. I mean, it's all natural CBD.
That's correct, and we have some different stuff for different people, and everybody likes to put it in their system a different way. And if you don't like the oil under the tongue, then we have the gummies or the honey straws. And if you just have aches and pains in your knees or lower back, then you can use the salve and rub it in there if you don't want to do all the other. And we have a lot of options for a lot of people. And if they ever have any questions, they can always call the office, go on the website, and get the number, and we'll feel free to answer any question they have.
It's KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com is in Kentucky's Best Hemp. Use the promo code AFR30, AFR30, and save 30% off your order. Lewis Coleman, man, always great to chat, buddy. Look forward to seeing you in Baton Rouge, hopefully for a game sometime this season, COVID permitting.
Yes, I hope so. I'm pretty jacked up. We got about 10 days left?
10 days, man.
Like
10 days.
I'm excited.
Man, we'll see you
But
soon,
I appreciate
all right?
having me on that.
You got it, man.
Thank you, bud.
You got it. That's Lewis Coleman, former Tiger pitcher. One of the big disappointments about not getting to play the season out in college baseball is not getting to talk to Lewis every week. He's just got great insights. A guy who, of course, was the SEC Pitcher of the Year, was an All-American, started the first game at the new box against Villanova, was such a key component of the 2009 championship season. Played for the Royals in the 2 years when they went to the World Series in back-to-back years. So, yeah, man, great insight, and he's been a great partner of ours here on the show as well. So y'all support his business, man. Support a great former Tiger. If you got inflammation, anxiety, trouble sleeping at night, CBD all natural could be a great way to help with that. Check it out at KYSBestHemp.com. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. Let me come back. Michael Thomas, I intended to get. If you were here at the start of the show, I blew a gasket with all the Big Ten stuff. Go back and if you haven't seen it, go to the After Further Review YouTube channel. The full rant to open the show will be up there shortly. If it's not, Paul, is it up yet? Not yet. It'll be up there shortly. We'll let you know when it's there. We'll tweet it out and everything as well. But I do want to talk about Michael Thomas. High ankle sprain, could miss weeks. We'll get to that when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, online at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Remember, whatever it is, if it's the birth of your child, if it's cancer treatments, if it's elective procedures, if it's emergency care, or if it's COVID-19 treatments. Baton Rouge General Hospital, they're here for you. brgeneral.org to learn more. Like the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital. No waiting rooms. You have online check-in right there near the interstate on 74. You can't miss it. It's a gorgeous new facility. Learn more at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. The Mid-City location, the ER has reopened, so you can certainly have access there. They've got the Surgery Fast Pass as well. If you want a touchless registration for your surgery, there's an opportunity to do it there at brgeneral.org. And make sure you download the Baton Rouge General mobile app for all of this info. The Baton Rouge General Hospital is part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. Online, learn more, brgeneral.org.
Here at the Big Squeezy, we continue to serve the Baton Rouge and Southeast Louisiana areas during these troubling times. We are dedicated to providing you healthy food items to help you live your best life. From our cold-pressed juices to our delicious smoothies, let the Big Squeezy keep you going. Stay active, stay happy, and let us help you stay healthy. Visit us at our locations and also inside of Alexander's and Mathern's grocery stores or online at thebigsqueezy.com.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who, without being asked, shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community? We believe that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust.
So, if you know someone that sounds like what Jordy was just describing, nominate them to be your good citizen, and they'll have a chance to win $500 from Citizens Bank and Trust. Plus, we'll mention them right here on the show. So go to citizensbankandtrust.com for more details and nominate your good citizen.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's number.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here on Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Had lunch over at Pluckers today. Great spot for lunch or dinner, and certainly a great spot to watch the game when we get into the football week. Tomorrow's Thursday Night Football. Joe Burrow and the Bengals against Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry of the Browns. Well, Thursday Night Football, if you need to find a place to watch, of course, you can do that at Pluckers. So, we all saw the play on Sunday where Michael Thomas was blocking. He was kind of engaged, and his left ankle got rolled on. Thankfully, he was able to get his foot out of there, which prevented any further injury. But the dreaded high ankle sprain, every time we hear that, I think everybody initially sighs and exhales because you realize that that high ankle sprain is something that can linger. We've seen it with guys that have a high ankle sprain that they never really get right from it. I mean, Alvin Kamara a year ago had a knee and ankle injury, and from that point, in week 4 or 5 on, he was just never the same guy last year. If you look close to home here with LSU, I can remember back to 2016 with Leonard Fournette, injured his ankle the week leading up to that opener against Wisconsin at Green Bay and Lambeau. And it was just an on-again, off-again nagging thing all season. So, look, I think that's obviously the part of this that everybody dreads is Mike Thomas with this ankle injury that becomes a thing that lingers all season. Initially, Thomas said he didn't feel like it was that bad, didn't think he was going to miss any time. Now his status is week to week. That's according to ESPN and many other sources, so all the different outlets. So the Saints do expect Thomas to miss the game against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Thomas, though, says he's still not convinced he's gonna miss time. Hopes to be back as soon as possible. According to this report from ESPN, the Saints have discussed the idea of placing Thomas on IR. Remember, IR rules are different this year. He would be sidelined for 3 weeks, but then could come back. Apparently, Mike Thomas not really in favor of that idea because he hopes he can be back sooner. So I get it. If you're the Saints, you don't want to have a player on the active roster who you can't use. Meanwhile, if Mike Thomas is available inside of 3 weeks, great. You'd much rather have that. I've seen a lot of people say, man, the Saints have got to have Michael Thomas available. And I want to be clear that I'm not going to minimize Thomas's role in this offense. There's a reason New Orleans paid him $100 million. There's a reason he obliterated the NFL's single-season catch record. He's the best receiver in the NFL. Not one of the best. He's the best receiver in the NFL. There might be guys with better breakaway speed, beat you over the top, but as far as receptions on targets, catch radius, drops, the guy that, hey, man, I need 6 yards. Who's the receiver I know can get 7? I can put it in a certain radius, and he's going to catch the ball. It's Mike Thomas. And I don't know that it's even particularly close right now. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Thomas isn't important. Clearly, he is. But I want to remind you that New Orleans a year ago won 5 games without Drew Brees. If New Orleans can win 5 games without Drew Brees, they can go to Las Vegas and beat the Raiders on Monday Night Football without Mike Thomas. I'm not saying this is something that you want to make habitual. I'm not saying it's something that you're really pumped about not having an all-pro wide receiver, but you can win without Mike Thomas. Let me remind you, this week's matchup against the Raiders, there's a lot of things that benefit New Orleans. We saw the Raiders in week 1 go to Carolina. They got a win, but that's a Carolina team where the offensive coordinator is Joe Brady, the quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. They're basically running the Saints offense. In a total rebuild, Carolina put up nearly 400 yards and 30 points on this Raiders defense. The Saints, bringing Alvin Kamara and Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook and all of the offensive weapons that they have, are going to be okay going to Las Vegas without Mike Thomas. I'm actually really excited to see if Emmanuel Sanders can break out, or if we see other receiving options emerge. I want to remind you, Emmanuel Sanders, even though for a football player he's long in the tooth, a year ago, 1 year in 2019, Emmanuel Sanders' best game, 7 catches, 157 yards, and a score. The touchdown was a 75-yarder. You probably remember against whom that came. That was the game where the Niners beat the Saints in the Dome. Emmanuel Sanders very much has that in him. He had 3 100-yard receiving games a year ago and another where he caught 98 passes. So he was 98 yards. So he was a 2 yards shy of a 400-yard receiving game. So this could be the opportunity for Emmanuel Sanders to really break out and emerge within this offense. Speaking of which, Emmanuel Sanders was on ESPN and talked to ESPN about Thomas and his injury.
I spoke with Mike yesterday, and he told me, he's going to take it day by day and see if he can make it back. When I talk about toughness, I've never been around a guy as tough as Mike and the way that he approaches the game and the way that he loves the game. And so I can't count him out right now just because I know what type of mentality he has, and he's going to try to give it all he can to try to make it back. But, if he can't make it back, then it's always a next man up mentality. And so we got to have that.
This is an awesome opportunity for Emmanuel Sanders to step up with Thomas out. We've also seen this offense improvise in times when they haven't had a legit number 2 behind Thomas. They've gone to Kamara's. He's got 81 receptions in his career. That could certainly be more of an option this week for New Orleans if Mike Thomas isn't out there. I'll remind you about Benny Fowler, who's a guy that, look, when they signed Benny Fowler, I've made a crack and was like, yeah, he's not going to make the team. But Drew Brees vouched for him. Benny Fowler recovered the onside kick this past week. Maybe this is an opportunity to get Benny Fowler involved. Sean Payton has gushed all offseason about Deontay Harris, wanting to get him more involved in the offense. Here's an opportunity to do that. And certainly you've got guys like Jared Cook or maybe Adam Troutman who could factor into the passing game. And I'll point out as well, maybe this could be a long shot. And I'll grant you this could be a long shot. But Marquez Callaway made this team. And Marquez Callaway has that blow the top off of defense ability. We saw it at Tennessee. It's what he did, receiving and returning kicks. Maybe this is a week that, if Callaway is active, could be that guy who factors into the offense, maybe even for a play or two that become game breakers. Again, I'm not saying the Saints are better without Mike Thomas. I'm not even saying they're fine without Mike Thomas. There's a reason you paid him $100 million. He's the best receiver in football. But if you can win 5 games without Drew Brees, you can go to Las Vegas and beat the Raiders without Mike Thomas. My question is going to be who steps up in his absence, provided he doesn't play on Monday Night Football. All right, it's after further review. I'm glad to have you aboard with us here. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 2. We'll wrap up with Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban, always a great option. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. 2 locations to serve all of Baton Rouge. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Both locations have amazing dining atmospheres. Both have all-weather patio dining. So if you'd rather enjoy an outdoor meal, you can do that. And both locations have carry-out options as well. So if you want to order and take it to the house, you can do that. Essen near Perkins or Airline Highway in Gonzales. You know where the Gonzales location is. You go south on Airline. You pass 44. It's about a mile on the right. You can't miss the giant Ichiban sign and the huge arched entryway, which is gorgeous. Find your favorite specialty roll tonight. Belly up to the bar and have a unique cocktail, an Asian martini, a Japanese beer. So many awesome options to make tonight an Ichiban night. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales, or order online at ichibanbr.com. Just make tonight an Ichiban night.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, like so friendly, very quick to just come up, like let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. and I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
When you want the best of Louisiana, you don't go to a superstore. We know what we like, and we like it local. Same goes for banking. As one of Louisiana's largest local banks, we offer homegrown services crafted around you. Gulf Coast Bank, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Okay, Brain's going to cut out of here after the top of the hour, and Muso will fill in for hour number 3. Brain, you got to go coach basketball, right? Please tell me you have an assistant this year.
I do.
Thank God. Does he know anything about basketball?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, that's more than you. So heaven help these children. Hopefully that they can secure a victory this year on the court.
Yes, much like last year.
No,
we played 500 ball last year.
You literally didn't score a basket. It's very disappointing that these children are subjected to this. Let me know if you need help.
I mean, that's the nature of my life. I need help.
Okay, we'll get you some help.
Okay.
Anybody can help Brain coach basketball? Give him some tips. Let me know. I can get Dale Brown on the phone. Maybe he can come by, help you, drop some plays.
I'd appreciate
He's
that.
probably got some time. So, okay, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Got to start off with Patrick Queen again. He's in the record books in Baltimore now.
Oh, really?
Patrick Queen is in the Baltimore Ravens, the annals of the Ravens' history. Wait, no, that'd be redundant. At 21 years and 1 month old, when Queen took the field last Sunday, he became the youngest player to ever start for Baltimore's defense.
Oh, that's a good little nugget.
Record book. Boom. Mark it down. Moving over to baseball, Alex Bregman was 2 of 3 last night. Posted up two RBI as well, and I'm trying to see if one of those... No, they were both singles. Nope. Yeah, they were both singles. Sorry.
You all right over there, bro?
I'm doing okay.
You need some help?
Do what?
You need some help?
No, I'm good. DJ LeMahieu had a heck of a night last night. 4 for 6.
Callahan!
No, not Catholic High. No. Scored 3 runs, drove in 5. So
speaking of Catholic High, did your work done? Got nominated for Pro Football Hall of Fame?
No, I didn't.
Catholic High!
Nice.
Yeah.
Good on him. LeMahieu did homer. He also had a double on the night to add up for 2 of those 4
You think
of
Warwick's
6
a Hall of
last
Famer?
night. Yes. Yes, I do.
Callahan! I mean, he's not, but I would love to see it happen for him.
Will Harris was in action today. Threw for 1 inning, got 2 strikeouts in that
boy,
1 inning.
Will.
I know. And going on right now, sorry, Paul, I didn't have this one for you. Going on right now, the Padres are playing. You were mentioning Austin Nola.
Callahan!
Not playing today.
Oh.
Nola's not in the lineup today. He went 0 for 3 last night, though. And that's Tigers in the pros.
Better, Bryn, you're fired. You gonna give me Austin Nola wearing the collar?
Well, so I was bringing up today's because you had pointed up at the screen, so I just assumed he was playing. And then I brought it up, and he's nowhere to be found in the lineup.
Honestly, I kept looking at the screen every time they're batting. I mean, obviously, I'm not like locked into the game. I'm hosting a show.
Right.
But I'm like, I feel like I've seen everybody on this team bat by now. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't I seen Nola? That's why. Not playing tonight.
Jason Castro's in at catcher today.
Warwick Dunn also not playing because he's retired.
That's the only way to get in the Hall of Fame.
But he's nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Callahan! Tigers in the Pros brought to you by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Online at kysbesthemp.com. kysbesthemp.com. Lewis Coleman's great company. Make sure you use the promo code AFR30, AFR30 to save 30% off your order at Kentucky's Best Hemp. kysbesthemp.com. Hour 3 coming up next. Big Ten. They're going to play football. Stay around.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. 2 more coming. One at the end of 2020, one at early 2021, both in the greater Baton Rouge area. But they got locations from Morgan City all the way west into the Baton Rouge area, to Port Allen, all the way to Lafayette. If you need bumper-to-bumper auto service or name brand tires at wholesale prices, you need Shawbills. And if you're looking for a job, Shawbills can help as well. Better yet, if you're looking for a career, Shawbills can help as well. So many of their store managers started at entry-level positions and worked their way up through the company. It's a refrain we hear very often over at Shawbills because they treat their customers like family, because they're family-owned and operated, but they also treat their employees that way. Health benefits, 401k, a tool purchase program, paid time off. If you're looking for a career instead of a job, check out Shawbills. Shawbills, where we keep...
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. ESPN's Jeff Borzello reports the college basketball season will tip off November 25th, 15 days after it was originally scheduled. With daily COVID-19 testing and more confidence in the latest medical information, the Big Ten plans to play football starting the weekend of October 24th. The Big Ten postponed all fall sports back in August, and criticism about a lack of communication. Commissioner Kevin Warren.
We're going to continually do everything we possibly can from not only a health and safety standpoint, but from a progressive standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. There are many things that we did learn over the last 40 days, and we'll get better.
Teams will each play 9 games. The league championship game will be played on December 19th. The Pac-12 is still on standby. Schools in California and Oregon aren't allowed to practice, partly because of the West Coast wildfires. Cowboys linebacker Sean Lee will be out until mid-October. He had surgery last week for a hip injury and a sports hernia.
And speaking of the Buckeyes, will Ohio State have a shot at the national title now that the Big Ten is back? Keyshawn J. Will and Zubin, Thursday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom play. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Hey, Muso still got his touch. Muso still got his touch. Muso still got his touch. Say it with me really loud. Said Muso still got his touch. Muso still got his touch. What's up, Muso?
Hey, Matt, you calm down a little bit?
Yeah, man. Heard the show open, huh?
A little bit.
If the mic wasn't on, you would have heard the show open. Yeah. You didn't hear the show open today. Coming soon. It'll be up on YouTube. Yeah, I eviscerated not just the Big Ten.
It's hump day.
But all of the loser, snooty, Big Ten, Midwest, Upper East Coast elitists who have looked down on us as a region for too long on this day when all of them were made to tuck tail and look like the mealy-mouthed cowards that they are.
Mike, what day is it, Mike?
I sweated a lot.
Hump day.
I yelled a lot.
It's hump day.
Guess what? Dan Wolken yesterday called. What did he call me on Twitter? Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Dan
What did he
Wolken
call
called
you?
me something. I did a rant yesterday too. Unhinged. Unhinged radio guy. I'd rather be an unhinged radio guy than an uninformed, lazy jackass like you, Wolken.
Hump day.
How about that? Russ Mitchell in 10 minutes.
It's hump day.
Glad you're with us. Thank you. It is. Muso, how many more times do you have to keep coming back just for 1 hour?
How many games are in
I
Brains
don't know.
basketball season?
Is this a game or is this practice?
I think this is still just practice.
Oh,
So,
it's just practice.
whew, we might be in this for the long
So
haul.
you do the mornings.
Right.
And then you got to come back on these days for 1 hour.
Well, now I also have Coach O show on Eagle.
Ah! So you'll be here even longer.
Yeah.
And then you got to come back tomorrow morning too.
That's a fact.
Oh. You want to produce the middays? Well, nice.
I'm sure. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I
keep
guess.
staying up here. Why
I might as
not?
well just
You know,
stay.
stay.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
Sleep on the couch in
sure.
Gordy's office in between shows.
Yeah, I got a new recliner in my office.
Ah, be there too.
So
Yeah.
sleep in there. Just don't snore.
I don't snore. I don't
Okay.
snore.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
How
pretty
do you
sure.
know?
I mean, anytime like I've shared a hotel room with somebody or whatnot, I don't snore. I've never had any complaints.
Paul, do you believe?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, well.
Doesn't he look like a snorer?
I think he could be.
Yeah, it looks like a snorer.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you.
I was never a snorer until recently, last year or so. Now Erica says I'm sawing wood.
Maybe it comes with age. I don't know.
I don't know what any of that either. So anyway, thank you for coming back there, Muso. If you missed the show open today, I did. I eviscerated the Big Ten a lot. Basically, my entire Twitter and mentions, email, everything is all just congratulating me on that. And I had a hell of a time on Twitter today, by the way, as well. And my objective is, if you missed it, it's not just to yell really loud. And I am sincerely very happy for the student athletes that are going to have an opportunity to play. It's not their fault that their conference, from the university presidents and chancellors to the conference commissioner on down, are all woefully inept at organizing a structure and a unified voice and purpose, which failed their student athletes miserably. That's not the student athletes' fault. So I'm glad that those young guys are going to have an opportunity to go compete for a championship. I will be fascinated to see a couple of things. You got an 8-game conference schedule where they're going to start on October 27th and play 8 consecutive weeks, culminating December the 19th on the same day of the SEC championship game. They'll play the Big Ten championship game that day. And a day later is when the college football playoff will announce its playoff teams. My feeling is, even with an 8-game schedule, an undefeated Big Ten champion is still going to get in. So this does change the math a little bit for the playoff. If you've listened, we've talked about the New Year's 6 games and how, with the absence of the Big Ten and the Pac-12, it has very much changed financially how this would play out. And the reason, of course, is because all the Power 5 teams get their payout from the college football playoff, which I believe is right at $50 million, 50. And then you get bonuses or shares based on the additional teams that you have in, which is $4 million annually, somewhere in the $4 to $6 million range. So let's say if you have 2 teams in the playoff and 3 teams in New Year's 6 games, well, that's 5 additional shares that you're getting in that $4 to $6 million range each. We're talking an extra $20 to $30 million for your conference. So in a year where everybody has lost money in the tens of millions of dollars, any money you can recoup, you're very happy to do that, and that would be one way. So financially, having the Big Ten back in the fold limits that opportunity, because you would, of course, the Big Ten champion is going to be in a New Year's 6 game, but could you see multiple Big Ten teams get into those New Year's 6 games? Possibly. Maybe the league that hurts the most isn't the SEC. Realistically, it could be the group of 5 that might have had a more realistic shot. We know the highest-ranked group of 5 champion is going to get a spot, but additional group of 5 teams may have had their best opportunity yet to claim one of those spots, that may now be out the window. Multiple ACC teams might be out the window after Clemson. So all of this will play out, we'll see, but just having the Big Ten back in the fold certainly alters the playoff race because you assume that the Big Ten champion is going to be in the Final Four, but also the other available spots in the New Year's Six. That'll affect a lot financially. But as I said, that's all ancillary. I feel good for those players. I also feel very good for myself today because this is it's a very petty thing to do, but I don't care. I'm spending my day on Twitter, on this radio show, eviscerating everybody I can that was a Chicken Little, the sky is falling, who ran and hid, who lauded the Big Ten, who pointed the finger in absolute disdain at anyone who dared challenge the sacred Big Ten and their decision, who laughed openly and mocked not only the Southeastern Conference, its commissioner, the university presidents, its head coaches, but also the medical task force advising the SEC, the ACC, and the other leagues in the Southeast, to openly mock people just because of their geography and something that has nothing to do at all with decisions that are made is weak. It's weak. There's no other way to say it. All of these people who have stuck out their chest and acted holier than thou, sitting on their perch, they are the weak ones. They are the ones that are tearing down other people based on nothing more than geography or an accent. They are the ones who are making stereotypical assumptions about people. They are the ones who are typecasting. Darren Ravel, Michael Wilbon, Desmond Howard, Max Kellerman, Christine Brennan, that whole lot. And it's not just them, but those are some of their four-star generals. And I'm glad to pick them off. But there will be more. I mean, this crusade isn't ending when the show ends today at 6. They all need to be called out for their hypocrisy. And they will be, one by one. We'll pick them off. Meanwhile, Scott Woodward today did a media conference with reporters via Zoom, and he did talk about Ed Ogeron's comments yesterday about how most of the LSU team has already had COVID-19. And Scott Woodward effectively said, sometimes Ed can be transparent to a fault. I love that. I love the fact that Ed's transparent. We want our coaches to be more forthcoming. He is, and then you crush him for it. The fact of the matter is, Ed said what is the reality for every major college football program, which is they've all had COVID by now. And according to CDC guidelines, they can all play because they don't have to test for 90 days. So, great. It's going to work out really, really well for football, and I'm excited about it. Scott Woodward also talked about SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey through this process.
For a guy that was criticized early in the process, Greg Sankey has been a steady hand, and he's gone about this properly, day by day, listen to the experts, and just always ready to pull the plug if there's something that we cannot overcome. And he's gone through this process in a very thorough and proper way. And in my opinion, he's the unsung hero on this. So, I say it in a positive, that the SEC and Commissioner Sankey got it right. And I'm very proud to be a member of this league and how we do things.
Scott Woodward said what I said in a much more tactful manner. But for me, today's not about tact. Today's about pointing the finger and laughing and making sure everyone who is in that clump knows who they are. And we're not forgetting in any way the manner in which they handled the past month and even times prior to that. So if you're for that level of petty, if you're for calling out people who are incredibly and institutionally hypocritical, then you're in the right place because I'm going to keep doing that. Oh, by the way, Russ Mitchell's joining us next, and the first thing he tweeted this morning is, still don't think they're going to play the entire season. Actually, Russ's exact tweet was, so the Big Ten is back. I'll believe it when the ball kicks off. Let's talk to Russ when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Online at lainsurance.net. Better coverage for less money. This is an easy process, y'all. Now, they close at 5, so they're closed right now. But you can call, leave a message, and they'll get back to you as soon as they're back in the office tomorrow. But I tell you all the time, and maybe the best way to illustrate this is testimonials. AFR listener named Evan increased his coverage by $50,000 a year. This is auto. Increased his auto coverage by $50,000 and saved $500 a year. Better coverage, less money. Maybe you could be like Evan. Maybe you could be like listeners we've seen save $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 annually on their coverage. Maybe you're like me. Increase my coverage by $1 million. Save $1,600 a year. Better coverage, less money. Let them shop for free. 293-0450.
When it's clearance time, smart customers rush to Richards Honda because all your favorite Honda models are at fantastic prices. And with our fanatical customer care, it's no wonder people call Richards Honda the smart choice.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Your Honda needs some TLC, and Richards Honda is the smart place to get it. With oil changes at just $39.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I think Ross is going to be a great coach.
Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname,
You're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas.
It's like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
All right, Russ Mitchell, college football news. Last week, he threatened that if we did not include the Coach O Russ soundbite, he would never come back on this show, and that was the threat, apparently, that the brain needed to hear in order to include it. How are you, Russ?
Kicking the tires, lighting the fires. That's like my 10-year-old gluing something to the front of her book, and then like, what was that? That was like,
it was in there.
That's like just stuck into the front. That was like no. That was that even? I want the truth. Was that like? Did you like have that on 2 tracks and you just potted up the one?
No.
And then really quickly potted into the next one? Or did you actually connect those together?
I didn't do it. Haldane did it, but he edited the Coach O drop into the original file.
Okay.
It's like you sit here and complain about not having that drop. We give you the drop, and then you complain about where it is in the damn open.
Yeah.
You complain about wanting football. We give you football, then you say, "Well, there's not really going to be football."
By the way, you misunderstood, and I might have been moderately responsible for that, but you misunderstood my Big Ten comment earlier in the day.
Oh, it was so funny. I was really trying to trigger you, and you didn't reply. I was a little disappointed.
No, because I was busy. But
so was I. I was busy eviscerating people like you who've been poo-pooing the season all along, which is actually happening.
I was saying that you can't trust the Big Ten is such a clown show right now that you can't trust anything they say until it happens.
Well, then I probably would have replied with the same number of laughing face emojis, just in a different context.
I get it. I mean, this is exciting, I mean, everybody's excited, but right now, Wisconsin's not even playing football, are they? I mean, they're like off for 14 days.
Don't know. Don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that there are a number of reasons beyond money. I think that once New Jersey and Maryland and Illinois made it clear that they would allow this to happen, obviously that helped. The testing helped. There's a number of things that made this possible. Like out west, half the Pac-12 can't even practice.
Yeah, they just don't really care. Russ, isn't this, like, on a very serious note, isn't this whole exercise a very clear statement, like cards on the table, about where you stand and your level of give a damn about your college football program?
Exactly. And just the sport in general. Listen, I love living out in Arizona. It's beautiful, man. It's nice and it's warm. We make fun of it, but it's nice. And if you've got, bad knees, if you've got bad knees or if you've got arthritis, there's no humidity out here and it's fantastic. But they don't care about football out here. They don't. They pretend like they do, but they don't. It's just not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. So, like, for them, yeah, there's a financial hit, but, it's more than the financial hit in the South. Like, I just can't even imagine going a whole year without football. Like, how do you do that? How could you do that? But out here, they're just like, yeah, no, we can do it.
It is, and we have talked about this a lot, Russ, that the demographics geographically do play, like in a place like Los Angeles, Southern Cal and UCLA football isn't an engine that city needs in the way that Tuscaloosa and Gainesville and Knoxville and Baton Rouge and Athens need those universities or the athletic departments. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, of course it matters.
I was going to say, why are you going to L.A.? I mean, you could pick
Seattle.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Phoenix.
Or Phoenix, I mean, even Tucson, brother. Even Tucson, which is a small city compared to, you could probably put it on, I don't know what the population is, but I'd say Baton Rouge is probably greater than in population than Tucson.
Greater Baton Rouge is about 500,000.
Yeah, I don't think Tucson is at 500,000. Hey, Google, what's the population of Tucson?
Hey, Siri, what's the population of Tucson, Arizona?
In
Yeah, it's about the same.
The population of
540.
Tucson was 548,073.
Yeah.
Hey, Siri, what's the population of Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
You said it was 500.
As of 2019, the population of Baton Rouge was 220,236.
That can't be right.
Well,
is that right?
That's Baton Rouge proper. If you're considering greater Baton Rouge, like Denham,
yeah,
Ascension,
it's got to be
Gonzales,
closer to half.
It's all 500,000. Yeah, greater Baton Rouge. But if you're looking at Baton Rouge proper, 250K.
If you think about how critical football is, I mean, just how absolutely critical it is to the economy of Baton Rouge, it's nothing in Tucson. Nothing.
True.
Nothing. Nothing.
I went there in 2003. We were at the bars, like the row of bars, the day before the game, and some guy was like a soccer hooligan was like, "Hey man, what y'all here for?" I was like, "For the game tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, U of A's playing tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, they are."
So I think that obviously it's much different up in the north. They treat their football almost on par, I think, to how we treat it in the south. So it's good to see them back, and I mean, it makes it more exciting for us. And there are some consequences to the SEC as a result of this.
I agree. Okay, so I know you only got one segment with us today, so let's talk about the on-field impact.
Right.
Let's talk about playoff. How does and New Year's 6? How does the Big Ten playing, in your eyes, impact that?
Well, obviously, in my opinion, the SEC is once again the toughest conference in football, top to bottom. And guess what? We're only playing SEC teams this year. And now the same applies to the other conferences. But again, our conference is the hardest conference. So without the big playing, then that would have meant that there would have been more opportunity for a 2-loss SEC team, or I don't know, depending on the circumstances, who knows? But now with the Big Ten being in the mix, it's going to put a lot more pressure on how many losses you can have in the SEC and still make it into the playoff.
What was your reaction watching the first full weekend of college football this past? Like, did you have one big takeaway?
Yeah. Meh. And again, I watched all day. I watched. So you gotta wait to the. I mean, I watched all day. I had multiple TVs on. I had my monitors on. And I'm like, from right now, I can see 5 screens. And I had picture in picture. I didn't have enough games. So that's the first thing, right? There weren't enough games for my setup.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is lightning strikes really suck during COVID because then you've got nothing. And or you have to watch Notre Dame. It's like you can't just watch it out of the corner of your eye. You got to watch the actual whole game.
I had Duke in the point, so I actually did watch that one. I enjoyed it.
It didn't feel like football. It didn't feel real without the SEC. And of course, obviously, it's not going to, because that's what I follow and that's what I work with. And so, but especially without the Big and without the SEC, it just felt.
It was an appetizer.
I watched it all, but it just didn't.
I always eat the appetizer. But the steak's coming.
It's not enough.
Yeah, of course it's not.
Enough.
That's why you got the steak and then the dessert and the wine. It's all coming. Like when you and I went to Rufino's with our friends. With Tomas,
right?
And his sons. And we went there. Yeah. And look, we had appetizers. But we knew the steak was coming. We had bottles of wine coming.
I don't even remember the advertisement.
Me either.
I just remember the alcohol in the evening. That was such a great day, man. I'll tell you this.
So come in for the Bama game this year, and we'll go to Rufino's the night before. I'll get us on the books right now.
I'm a little concerned about the fact that, on the one hand, I think we talked about this. I think it's good that we pushed the season back to the 24th. But or till the end of September.
Yeah, 20, you were right. Yeah.
Yeah. The concern that I have is, you see this already with Virginia Tech and Tulsa, Oklahoma State, and Memphis, and Houston, and all this. Flexibility is going to be the key in trying to move things around, and I wonder if we're going to have enough time, and especially for the Big Ten. They're starting, if they start on October the 24th and they're going to try to squeeze 8 in.
They should have all waited till the end of September like the SEC did, because they'll get all their COVID cases out and then they'll have enough people to play. You won't ever see these games postponed after this because you'll have 3 months of test-free, consequence-free football. So that's what's going to happen. That's more evidence, Russ, the fact that Greg Sankey all along has been the smartest guy in the room. He has.
Well,
they've executed this perfectly.
I've always said that anytime you have a situation where, the crowd is cheering that something has to be done, and the mob is out with the pitchforks to hang them and all this sort of stuff, go get Frankenstein. You should always take 2 or 3 weeks off, So, we're going to bring a blue ribbon panel together and we'll review it in 3 or 4 weeks, because things always die down.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely has died down since the beginning. I think that ultimately at the end of the day, and you saw, it's interesting to me. I was doing a radio show in Florida earlier today, and it's interesting how the rest of the country seems to be jumping on top of Coach O. For just basically telling the truth. Yep. It's like, wait, he didn't do anything wrong. Oh, it's not like kids are playing if they don't have to play. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let Chase go. And and the guys got sick and they got sequestered or, quarantined, and now they're back. So what's the problem? The only problem to me is, and this is the one thing that I want to be really careful about and see what happens, is remember that a lot of people who get this, even young people, can be lethargic for weeks afterwards. So it'll be very interesting to see once we start playing, and I don't know how we track that or if there'll be any visibility into that, but it'll be interesting to see. The other thing, by the way, is after the first week of the NFL season, I thought both on Saturday and on Sunday that there were more injuries. I thought there were more injury timeouts on Saturday and Sunday, which maybe could be attributed to no preseason games in the NFL and not as much contact in practice.
There will be data that will either support or disconfirm that hypothesis. I mean, we'll obviously know how many injuries there were, so I'm sure that's going to be out there. Hey, look, we're short on time, though, because I know you just have one segment. Real quick, next week when we talk, we'll be previewing the first week of the SEC, which is really exciting. Right now, though, biggest questions that you have, or is there one giant question in the SEC here 10 days from the openers?
Quickly, I'm still concerned about seeing LSU's offensive line, against competition. I want to see Moses play. I want to see who's under center for Georgia. I want to see South Carolina's defensive line, because it's basically one guy and a whole bunch of meh. And what happens with Florida's wide receivers? So those are the big question marks. But if I had to notch it up to one thing, actually it'd be LSU's offensive line.
Over Georgia's quarterback.
I think the Tigers have a chance. I have Florida over Georgia right now. And, even if their quarterback situation materializes, I think Trask will will run the day, and I think their defensive line will be okay.
Right.
But by the way, off of nothing, because you can't even see practices. But
I am guessing.
I'm concerned about the offensive line for LSU. That's the number, because I think LSU has a chance to win the SEC and be in the playoff again. So, but given all the talent they lost, I want to see the offensive line.
He is Russ Mitchell, College Football News, on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Hey, next week when we talk, we're going to be previewing games, and come here in November for the Alabama game. We'll go to Rufino's. And if we can't get if we can't get into the stadium, just stay at my house and we'll watch it there outside. And we'll grill steaks on the patio and smoke cigars and all that stuff.
If I come there, we will get into the stadium, even if we have to hop a fence.
Okay.
We will get into the stadium.
Noted. We will be there then. You, me, Bama game done.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. We'll see you. That's Russ Mitchell, College Football News. Chats with Russ are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New, certified, pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Well, I got a break. Let's see. Jimmy Ott, Otterlocks in about 15 minutes from right now. Stick around.
AFR.
Title sponsor of our Hump Day shows all throughout the year, Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet Dine-In, Carryout. Actually, as a matter of fact, had lunch today over at Pluckers with the king of the wing, Mr. Stevie Levy. Steve Levy, he had a 5-piece combo. He had the 5 wings, fries to the side. I went blue cheese chicken Cobb salad. You can eat healthy and great at Pluckers. I had the blue cheese chicken Cobb salad, which is amazing. It's grilled chicken on a bed of fresh lettuce with all like fresh avocado. I mean, some carrots, amazing. Cabbage, it's amazing salad. But you could absolutely just go binge if you want as well. Go eat a whole mess of wings, fries. I get cheese fries, which are incredible. The Guapo dip, A1A. Ice cold draft beer, fried Twinkies. It's amazing. Holy macaroni. They fry logs of mac and cheese. It's Pluckers. You don't like our wings? We'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Oh, lots of people with hurt feelings today. Lots of people with hurt feelings. The one thing more than any other that I hope most take out of today is sometimes, in most cases, you can have a difference of opinions and still get along with people. Russ and I, for example, are on polar opposite ends of the spectrum as it pertains to COVID. Russ is a lock down the country, everyone's going to die. Like, I shouldn't say everyone's going to die, but you know what I mean. Like, he's very much on that side, as is obvious. I am in a much more tempered place. I'm just in a very, very different place from Russ. I have a son who has congenital birth defects, heart disease. He is certainly high risk, and with pulmonary insufficiency, a lot of respiratory viruses strongly affect Drew. And we were very thoughtful and had conversations with every one of his doctors, world-class surgeons, pediatric cardiologists, his pediatrician, everybody. And they all agreed, you have to go live your life. Take the necessary precautions, but children are doing well with this. You have to go live your life. The unfortunate part is there are too many on the others, on both ends of this spectrum, that refuse to listen to other people's arguments. And where it unfortunately comes to a head is like what happened a month ago with respect to the people in Big Ten country who I eviscerated earlier today, because what they chose to do was ignore the logic behind the decision the SEC had made. And Greg Sankey's decision was never, we're playing football no matter what, gosh darn it. That was your impression of what he was saying. What he was saying is, we're continuing with the intent of playing a season. And that could change at any given moment if we feel there's a hurdle that we can't clear. But until we reach that hurdle we can't clear, we're going to keep moving along, which is something that any league could have continued doing, certainly the Big Ten. The question is, as I've explained many times here, what is your motivation to do so? Clearly, the SEC had a greater motivation to continue moving forward because of the economic and societal impact that college football and these universities have on small college towns. The reality is, in Chicago, Illinois, Northwestern football isn't as big a deal as Georgia football is in Athens, Georgia. The reality is that in Phoenix, Arizona State isn't as big a deal to that economy as LSU football is to Baton Rouge. We've been over this. Many, many times I've explained this. The reality was, those Big Ten programs, the coaches, the players, the parents desperately wanted to play. But the university leadership didn't care enough to clear the hurdles. There was always a way. And they threw out so many red herrings. If it was, we don't have testing, or if it's myocarditis, or we don't know the long-term effects, or whatever. Yet here we are today, where they've taken every one of those arguments, crumpled them up into a ball, and gotten in line. Which is what they should have done from the beginning. Because the reality is, every one of you today whose feelings are hurt because of the things I've said, you could have that same argument on anything that's being done publicly with respect to COVID-19. You could catch COVID-19 just as easy playing a football game as you could going to a restaurant or going to the grocery store or going to work or doing any of the other things publicly that we're all doing. college football became a political flag that many people decided to wave. You can watch. I'm sitting here in studio. CST left our broadcast because they went to go broadcast high school volleyball. High school volleyball, Major League Baseball. From preps to pros and everything in between, sports are back in every sport at every level. But somehow college football was going to destroy the world if we played. It's the most nonsensical thing that you could possibly argue amid our reality. Yet, so many dug in. And people like Christine Brennan today saying it's the darkest day in the history of the Big Ten. When Larry Nassar was abusing gymnasts at Michigan State. When Jerry Sandusky was raping children at Penn State. And that administration was covering it up. And you're going to say this is the darkest day in the history of the Big Ten when the Big Ten sold its soul and became the SEC? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Became the SEC? Became a league of problem solvers who found a way to progress amid a pandemic to give their young student athletes an opportunity to play in as safe a manner as possible? What became the SEC? Today, I'd wear that as a badge of honor if you're an SEC fan. I get a lot of you got hurt feelings right now. Because I have absolutely eviscerated you today, and you deserve it because you needed to be pantsed. In many instances, like when a parent takes a paddle to a child's behind, sometimes they need it. That's going to set a lot of people off. I probably shouldn't say that, but whatever. Sue me. My dad's the greatest man. I got the belt when I was a kid. I'm fine. Anyway. It's an awesome day today. It's an awesome day. Not one that should be lamented, but every one of you who was on the other side of this should be introspective today and say, yeah, I was wrong. The SEC found a way to do it responsibly. They've continued moving forward. If the Big Ten had just stayed on this path, this trajectory, they'd be right alongside the SEC. And you would have avoided a month's worth of negative publicity, of lawsuits, and coaches and administrators speaking out against their league, of parents rallying at the league office, of chancellors being hot mic'd before press conferences. Think about this, the circus, the clown show the Big Ten has become because of a lack of leadership. And all of their little bots in the national media who assume they could do no wrong because of where they're located geographically, they all got pants today. Every one of them. And I was very glad to be the one with the paddle in my hand. If you missed today's show open, go check it out on the After Further Review YouTube channel. Subscribe to the After Further Review YouTube channel. Hit the bell, and you can catch my opening rant from today, which I sweated and screamed and yelled a lot and brought it heavy, and hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to have football. More of it. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our final break. Come back. Jimmy Ott, Otterlocks, that's coming up next. What are we betting on tonight? And we'll preview tomorrow's show, which is going to be a lot of fun. Mike D returns tomorrow. Got Thursday Night Football with Joe Burrow on the field, national TV. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. This is an awesome time. As the weather starts to get a little nicer. I mean, I get it. Today was 85, low of 72. Actually, not terrible. But as we get a little bit nicer into fall, great chance to get by Clegg's. Fall bedding plants, your fall vegetable gardens, pumpkins, your ornamental squash, your ornamental vegetables that you might put on your porch. It's a great opportunity to decorate outside your home for fall right now. Clegg's Nursery can help you out. Now, if you still got a mosquito problem, they've got the Spartan Mosquito Eradicator, $24.99. Knock out mosquitoes for 90 days at a time with the Spartan Mosquito Eradicator at Clegg's Nursery. If you're a deer hunter, they got deer corn, buckbusters, mobucks, all that stuff that you need. Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area for 60 years. Buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you in. To Clegg's Nursery.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, so friendly, very quick to just come up, let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who, without being asked, shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community? We believe that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust.
So, if you know someone that sounds like what Jordy was just describing, nominate them to be your good citizen, and they'll have a chance to win $500 from Citizens Bank and Trust. Plus, we'll mention him right here on the show. So go to citizensbankandtrust.com for more details and nominate your good citizen.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Otterlocks. Presented by Hot Rods Creole. The way to Creole. Shop online, hotrodscreole.com.
All right, Jimmy Ott joins us for a little Otterlocks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Still no football. That returns tomorrow. Otter, how are you?
Good, man. I see you, a little Creole season at the beginning today. Well done. Well played, sir.
That's there every day on the rejoin.
There you go. No, but I'm talking about your opening today. Very, very, very good. Very good.
The show open.
Yeah, Matt. You want me to, I know you're from the South. I will slow it down for you if you need to.
I mean, Otter, let me remind you here that, this segment is sponsored by Hot Rods Creole, and you mentioned the spice at the beginning. I'm supposed to believe that you're talking about Hot Rods Creole as we open the segment. But yeah,
well, I am. I'm saying you brought the Hot Rods Creole to me.
Oh, man. I eviscerated the Big Ten. It felt so good.
And also the northern media.
That's mostly who I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but listen, keep in mind, it's real simple. All of those presidents, I would have to say I'd lay 10-1 that all of them are making more money than they ever have. And it was the safest play for self-preservation not to play at first. Now they realize, we're outnumbered here. Maybe the best way for self-preservation now is to play. So, hey,
they're all losers. They're all mealy-mouthed losers. And if they were standing here, I'd punch them in the face, and then I'd urinate on all of them.
Me too.
All right.
Let's do it.
What are we betting on tonight, Otter? Don't give me another stinker with the Mets and the Phillies, Otter. because I got to go home to my wife who's like, why are you betting baseball? Jimmy's not good at baseball. And then they lose, and so then I have no leg to stand on. Give me something good tonight, Otter.
Did you once again, you failed to mention that under in Game 7 covered easily.
I did. That was a great play. I played them both.
Oh, okay.
I played them both, and I'm very grateful for that. But don't give me if you're going to give me a baseball when it's got to hit, man. Because then my wife's like, hey, why are you playing that? Tell Jimmy he's not good at baseball.
All right, Easy. Here we go.
All right, what we got? All right.
White Sox and Giolito against Minnesota in
giving me baseball.
That's the only thing they're playing tonight, man.
Okay.
Basketball's off.
All right,
Football's off.
I'm betting $5. All right, what are we playing? Betting $5. We're hitting the White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox. Look, man, Giolito had a really rough start against Minnesota on opening day, and it kind of buried his ERA. But he has been lights out, and so have the White Sox. They've won 6 in a row, 10 of 11, 22 of 27. This team is on fire. Odorizzi is making his first start in over a year. This is a modest line at minus $1.44. We're going with the White Sox looking for the sweep tonight over the Twins and Odorizzi.
All right, where are y'all tonight?
Just winging it.
Nice.
And then I'm going to speak at the Eat the Competition dinner over at Rufino's.
That's right.
So, and I'll scoop up and pick you up if you want to. I mean, come in your area.
Do you have
here,
room?
You know?
Hey, do you have room at the Eat the Competition dinner?
Man, any night but tonight.
Then don't tease me with that, because I'd come. That's like a 9-course meal, man. You know I'm all over that.
We have room for you. Come on.
Let him in.
We can let you do your Big Ten rant again. It was great.
Golden. I'll eat, and then I'll play the Big Ten rant. How about that?
Hey, one little thing, though, on bourbon, okay? Because EJ and I took him for his 4th grade field trip up to Kentucky and Lexington.
Yeah.
One thing you see in Lexington, miles and miles of limestone benches. It's all the limestone. It eats away at the iron. Iron is bourbon's worst friend. It eats away its iron. And it also...
I've got 20, Jimmy. I got 20 seconds. I really got to go.
Love it. Wood for reserve, baby.
All right, we'll see you. That's Jimmy Ott. Otter Locks. Game time with Jimmy Ott's coming up. Musso, what did you learn?
Dan Wolken thinks you're unhinged.
Paul, what did you learn?
LSU Tiger Stadium is as clean as it's ever been.
We did learn that.
What'd you learn?
Jimmy Ott still does not know how to get out. I mean, 30 years in radio, the guy still doesn't know how to get out. All right, it's AFRC tomorrow.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Remember, you can always get free testosterone level checks, and you don't need an appointment. Just walk in. Free testosterone level checks can let you know if you might need testosterone replacement therapy. Now, you can do the full blood labs, and I do that twice a year, and that's medically managed care. And they'll look at your entire physical composition through your blood labs to tell you if you're. I mean, they've caught cancers when they've noticed abnormalities in people's blood work. So that's a great thing to do. But listen, all throughout this month, great specials on Botox, fillers. It's Faces for Fall here throughout September. So if you want hydrofacials, great opportunities for those products and services to save big at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Online, theantiagingclinics.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.